Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SSNIT says 10 more errors have been discovered in their operating business suite OBS in less than 24 hours. This brings the number of issues with the system to 237 at last count. Acting General Manager of the Management Information Systems at SSNIT, Yaunimo, made this known when the trust opened its doors to give pictorial evidence of the issues they claim are bedeviling the OBS. SSNIT, after purchasing the system for $72 million or more, says the system is rather making their work more difficult as it is unable to carry out some operations which the software it's replaced was able to do. I spoke to Yaunimo earlier.
Currently, the OBS has been implemented, but we have serious challenges that is impeding our workflow. And it's not able to help us do the work normally as we will be able to do. For instance, the contribution module creates duplication of employer contribution transaction, creating multiple credit and multiple debit for the employer. And this tends to distort the employer's liability.
What does this mean for the average viewer?
It means we will be overbilling employers and also overcrediting workers. And if we are not careful, we shall overpay workers when it comes to their benefit payment.
And why does it come up that you have to overbill or overpay?
Yeah, all this is due to the weak controls in the system. That is why it shouldn't even have happened that every employer transaction should be processed once. But this is the case. When it processed, it duplicates it, creating discomfort for us. And that's why we say that the system is not working, because that's not what we were expected to do.
When you say weak controls, what do you mean?
That is, for instance, if you process Joy FM contribution for June, the system should not accept another June or should not duplicate the June to give 2 debit to the employer and 2 credit to the member. It should give 1 single debit and a single credit to all the members who are on the list of Joy FM. And that is not what is happening in most cases. You see, then at times too, we see negative value contributions. We see 0 value contributions. Whose contribution is 0? Who earns 0 salary? But we have numerous cases, more than 200,000 cases of people with 0 value transactions. And all this causes discomfort to us, because how will you pay somebody 0? How will they get interest on their accrued benefits?
Could it be that maybe the workers or the persons who use the software are not familiar with how it's supposed to work?
Yeah, a software has a basic control that it has to implement. For instance, if you are paying a benefit, I put in a social security number and I have paid benefit on that number. If I put in the same number, the system should prompt me that benefit have been paid on this number, so you cannot use that number. But it's not so. If you pay a benefit on a number, you can put in the number, you go through the process, and you depend on the vigilance of staff before it will be detected that particular number, a benefit has been paid already. We have cases of bank returns, whereby when we pay you and your account is dormant, the bank returns the money. Later, when we resolve your account, we have to pay. Here, the system doesn't control. If I pay your bank return and I try to pay you again, it will allow me to pay. You see, but ideally, once I've paid the first transaction, the system should prevent me from paying the same transaction again. That's what we call weak controls. You see, so it's distorted. And if you are not careful, you pay more, you overpay the person.
We also went to carry out some checks. We visited some of your branches and we realized that we could carry out some business or carry out some transactions in a matter of seconds. How do you reconcile that with the challenges you have with the system?
Yeah, some transactions can be carried out, but it's creating problem. Like, for instance, you could process your contribution report in some few minutes, but at the end of the day, it will distort it, it will duplicate it. So at the end of the day, the value is 0. Because of the distortion that we have. You see, there's so much discrepancy in the data.
So some things work and some things do not.
Some doesn't work. It's all because of the architecture of the system. You see, they've created silos of data which are not talking to each other. And therefore, you see data discrepancies across. Just like we were talking about the summary and details. You see, which should not be a good design for a system. So it's creating a lot of